Chapter 1. The unintended gift, the rain, tapped a relentless rhythm against Alex Carter's window, a grey shroud over the city that mirrored his mood. At 32, he was a ghost in his own life data entry by day, silence by night, and a breakup with Sarah still festering like an open wound. Tonight, he'd had enough. He hauled a trash bag from his closet, stuffing it with faded t-shirts, threadbare jeans, and on impulse a pair of sleek black leather ankle boots he'd found tucked behind Sarah's old sweaters. They weren't his style, but they weren't hers either. Not that he remembered. Out they went, into the rusty charity bin outside his apartment building, its chipped sign croaking donations welcome in the wind. The boots landed with a dull thud, a faint shimmer catching the streetlight before the bag swallowed them. Alex didn't linger. Sleep came fitfully, a tangle of restless dreams drowned out by the storm. When he woke, a dull ache throbbed behind his eyes, and his feet felt too heavy. Groggy, he swung his legs over the bed and froze. The boots were on him, laces tight, leather gleaming like they'd been polished overnight. He yanked at them, but they clung like a second skin. Stumbling to the bathroom, he flicked on the light and met a stranger in the mirror, his jaw softer, his brown hair longer and silkier, his frame slimmer, curved in ways it shouldn't be. A woman stared back, wide-eyed and trembling. "Alex," he whispered, but the voice was higher, softer. Her hands, flew to her face, tracing unfamiliar cheekbones. Alexa, she corrected herself, a name to anchor the panic. She tore at the boots again, nails scraping leather, but they wouldn't budge. A whisper slithered through her mind, faint and coaxing. "Keep going." Her stomach lurched. She grabbed her keys and bolted downstairs, the boots clicking unnaturally loud on the linoleum. The charity bin loomed in the drizzle, but the bag was gone. In its place, a scrap of paper clung to the metal, soaked but legible. "Check the alley. V." Chapter 2. The clothes that bind Alexa's breath hitched. She didn't know any V, but the note felt like a lifeline or a trap. The alley stretched behind the building, a narrow throat of shadows and overflowing dumpsters. There, against a brick wall, sat her donation bag, torn open, its contents mingled with a pile of unfamiliar clothes, a floral dress, a leather jacket, a silk scarf. None of it was hers. The boots pulsed warmly against her ankles, urging her forward. She hesitated, then snatched the leather jacket, hoping it might undo whatever curse the boots had unleashed. She shrugged it on, and the world tilted. Her reflection in a puddle showed a sharper transformation hair cascading past her shoulders, eyes brighter, hands delicate as porcelain. Memories crashed in, unbidden, painting a stormy seascape on a canvas. The thud of her fists against a punching bag, a woman's laughter echoing in a sunlit room. Alexa gasped, clutching her head. These weren't her memories, they belonged to someone else. Back in her apartment, Alexa dropped the pile of clothes onto the floor, the leather jacket still clinging to her shoulders. Her breath came in shallow gasps, a man's panic warring with something softer, stranger. The boots pulsed against her ankles, warm and insistent, urging her toward the heap. She rummaged through it, fingers brushing a scrap of black lace panties, delicate and feminine, edged with intricate patterns. Alex recoiled, a flush creeping up his neck. "What the hell am I doing?" he muttered, voice cracking, still his own but teetering on the edge. The whisper slid into his mind, smooth as silk. "Try them. You'll see." It was a woman's voice, low and reassuring, and despite the absurdity, his hands moved, trembling as he stepped out of his boxers and into the panties. The lace hugged him, impossibly soft, and a jolt ran through him. His groin tightened, a shrinking sensation as his balls seemed to retreat, tucked inward by some unseen force. He gasped, clutching at himself, but the whisper purred, "It's right. You're fine." The panic ebbed, replaced by a strange calm, and Alexa exhaled, feeling oddly sexy. Next came a girdle shaper, a sleek black garment with a faint sheen. Alex hesitated, his rational mind screaming this was madness, but the boots nudged her forward, and she obeyed. She pulled it up, the fabric snapping tight around her waist. It locked her manhood in place, an unyielding grip that smothered his protests, while her hips flared outward, but rounding into a fuller curve. "This isn't me," Alex rasped, hands shaking as he traced the exaggerated shape, horrified at the stranger he was becoming. "But it could be," the whisper cooed, warm and soothing, and Alexa's shoulders relaxed. a flicker of acceptance blooming. Stockings followed sheer, black, with a subtle shimmer. Alex sat on the edge of the couch, rolling them up his legs, and flinched as his coarse hair vanished, legs lengthening and reshaping into lean, elegant lines. "I'm a guy, damn it," he growled, but the transformation felt alive, unstoppable. The whisper hummed, "Look how beautiful you are," and Alexa's tension melted, her fingers smoothing the stockings with a tentative pride. A matching lacy bra dangled from the pile, black and delicate, its cups taunting him. Alex's chest heaved with a man's dreadbare flat wrong for this, but he slipped it on, straps biting into his shoulders. The fabric pressed against his skin, and a warmth spread, softening his chest. Small breasts swelled, filling the cups perfectly, and he froze, staring down in disbelief. "No, no, no," he choked, stumbling to the mirror. The reflection showed Alexa curved, feminine, undeniably her, and she posed instinctively, hips cocked, a sultry tilt to her head. "God, I'm sexy," she murmured, then clapped a hand over her mouth, horrified. "Yes, you are," the whisper agreed, and the shame dissolved into a quiet thrill. She reached for a short-sleeved, flowery dress, its fabric light and flowing. Alex pulled it over his head, grimacing as it settled, but the dress worked its magic shoulders slimming, waist cinching tighter, the skirt flaring to showcase her wider hips and rounded arse. "I can't be this," he whispered, voice breaking, but the mirror showed a woman, poised and radiant. "You already are," the whisper sighed, and Alexa twirled, the dress swaying, a smile tugging at her lips. The scarf came next, silk and crimson, wrapping around her neck like a lover's touch. A flood of skill hit her. She grabbed a napkin and sketched her old self. Alex's square jaw and tired eyes captured with eerie precision, then spun into a martial arts kata, her body fluid and trained. The boots tightened, approving, and the whisper returned, "You're almost me." Accessories followed, a pair of silver hoop earrings she clipped on without thinking, a thin bracelet sliding onto her wrist, each piece locking her deeper into this new self. A shoulder purse lay among the pile, black leather with a gold clasp. She slung it over her shoulder, opening it to find a compact and lipstick. She touched up her face-red lips, a flush of colour mesmerised by the woman staring back. Her phone buzzed, snapping her out of the trance. The screen lit up with a text from an unknown number. "Don't fight it. Meet me at 3 a.m, where the bin stood." The clock read 2045. Alexa's heart pounded, a man's fear clashing with a woman's resolve, the purse dangling from her shoulder like a lifeline to this strange, seductive identity. Chapter 3. The ritual unravelled. Alexa's hands shook as she gripped a kitchen knife and a flashlight, the boot's rhythm a metronome of dread as she descended the stairs. The rain had stopped, leaving a slick sheen on the pavement where the bin once stood. In its place, a chalk circle glowed faintly, runes curling like tendrils in the dark. A figure emerged from the shadows, tall, gaunt, with piercing green eyes that seemed to drink her in. "You're early," the woman said, voice low and hungry. "I'm Vivienne." Well, part of her. Alexa's grip tightened on the knife. "Who are you? What's happening to me?" The woman Vivienne's echo smiled, teeth glinting. The real Vivienne lived here 2 years back. Artist, fighter, dying of cancer. She didn't want to go quietly, so she wove herself into her clothes blood, chance, a little something extra. "Those boots? They're the anchor. You're the vessel." She stepped closer, circling Alexa like a predator. "I've been waiting for someone strong enough to wear her skin." Alexa's mind reeled. Tenant gossip flickered back Vivienne, the recluse who vanished after a fire, her apartment gutted. "You're saying I'm turning into her? You're becoming her," the echo corrected. "Every piece you wear pulls you closer. The others, they fought it, broke apart, died screaming. But you..." She tilted her head, eyes gleaming. "You're different." The boots pulsed, and Alexa's vision blurred, her own memories dimming, Vivienne's sharpening. She saw herself, Vivienne, mixing paint, breaking a man's nose in a bar fight, whispering incantations over a steaming pot. "Where's the sauce?" Alexa demanded, raising the knife. "How do I stop it?" The echo laughed, a hollow sound. "The boots. Break the circle, burn them all, let me live again." She lunged, faster than human, and Alexa ducked, Vivienne's reflexes kicking in. She slashed wildly, the blade nicking the echo's arm, drawing a hiss but no blood. You can't kill what's already gone, the echo taunted, retreating into the dark. Alexa stumbled back to her apartment, Boots fighting her every step, whispering promises, power, freedom, life. She grabbed a lighter and a can of hairspray from the bathroom, intent on torching them, but paused. Vivienne's memories glowed brighter than Alex's ever had, vibrant, fierce, alive. The clock ticked past 3:30, and the door creaked open. The echo stood there, more solid now, green eyes burning. "You're too late," she hissed, lunging again. The fight was chaos. Vivienne's skills in Alexa's hands against an enemy who knew every move. A lamp shattered, the knife skittered under the couch, and Alexa's mind frayed as Vivienne's voice roared inside. "Let me live." The echo pinned her, cold fingers digging into her throat, but Alexa kicked free, boots flying off as they hit the floor. The chalk circle's connection snapped. The echo screamed, dissolving into mist, her wail fading into silence. Alexa scrambled for the lighter, hands trembling as she sprayed hairspray over the boots and struck a flame. They burned, leather curling and popping, the stench choking the room. She collapsed, chest heaving, as the whispers died. The transformation slowed, but didn't stop her body a hybrid of Alex and Vivienne, green eyes staring back from the mirror. Chapter 4. Becoming Alexa, the apartment was silent, save for the faint crackle of the dying fire in the trash can, where the boots smouldered. Alexa slumped against the couch, her chest heaving, the acrid smell of burnt leather clinging to her skin. Her body felt foreign yet familiar curves where there'd been angles, green eyes staring back from the mirror, a hybrid of Alex and Vivienne. The whisper was gone, but the clothes in the trunk pulsed faintly, a siren call she couldn't quite ignore. She touched the lacy bra beneath the flowery dress, the stockings hugging her legs, and a shiver ran through her, not fear, but curiosity. Morning light crept through the blinds, and Alexa stood, the shoulder purse still dangling from her arm. She opened it, pulling out the lipstick and compact, and hesitated. "What am I now?" she murmured, her voice a melodic alto that felt right. Alex's life data entry, solitude, a grey routine, seemed a distant memory, overshadowed by Vivienne's vibrancy. She swiped the lipstick across her lips, a bold red, and smiled at the mirror. "Maybe I can figure this out." She ventured outside, the dress swaying with each step, the bracelet jangling softly. The city felt different, brighter, louder, alive. At a coffee shop down the street, she ordered a latte, fumbling with the purse to pay. The barista, a young woman with a nose ring, grinned. "Love your dress." "Where'd you get it?" Alexa froze, then laughed, a light, feminine sound that surprised her. "Oh, just a thrift find," she said, and the ease of the lie thrilled her. She sat by the window, crossing her legs instinctively, the stockings catching the light, and sipped her drink, feeling eyes on her, not judgmental, but admiring. Back home, she dug into the trunk again, pulling out a pair of strappy heels Vivienne's memories told her how to wear. She wobbled at first, then found her balance, strutting across the room with a sway she didn't know she had. The purse yielded more treasures: a mascara wand, a perfume vial, and she experimented, brushing her lashes, spritzing her neck with a floral scent that made her feel powerful. She posed in the mirror, hands on her hips, and laughed again, a mix of Alex's disbelief and Alexa's delight. "I'm good at this," she said aloud, and the realization sparked something bold. That night, Alexa decided to push further, shedding Alex's lingering restraint. She slipped into a black satin bra with plunging lace cups, the fabric barely containing her curves, paired with a matching thong that hugged her hips and left little to the imagination. Over it, she chose a dress from the trunk that screamed Vivienne, a deep red, backless mini dress with a daringly low neckline, its hem skimming her thighs and clinging to every contour of her reshaped body. The girdle shaper cinched her waist tighter, accentuating her fuller hips and rounded arse, while strappy black heels higher and sharper than before lifted her into a commanding stance. She ditched the crimson scarf for a choker studded with tiny silver spikes, a nod to Vivienne's edge, and added oversized hoop earrings and a stack of thin bangles that clinked with every move. The shoulder purse dangled from her arm, packed with bold red lipstick and smoky eyeliner she'd applied with a steady hand. She strode to a bar she'd never dared enter as Alex, the bouncer's eyes lingering as he waved her in. Inside, the dim lights and throbbing bass enveloped her like a lover's touch. She ordered a martini, sipping it with a slow, deliberate grace, and caught a man's gaze from across the room, his stare hungry, drawn to the flash of skin and the sway of her hips. He approached, all smiles, and asked her to dance. Alexa faltered, for a heart beat Alex's voice, whimpering no, but Vivienne's confidence roared through her, and she purred yes, her lips curling into a smirk. On the dance floor, she moved with a grace she'd never known, the heels clicking, the dress flaring. The man's hand rested on her waist, and she didn't flinch. It felt natural. "You're stunning," he said, and she blushed, a warmth spreading through her. Later, alone at the bar, she sketched his face on a coaster with a pen from her purse, Vivienne's skill flowing through her fingers. She felt a live feminine, powerful, seen, but the thrill came with shadows. At home, she dreamed of Vivienne green eyes watching from a void, whispering, "You're not done." The trunk rattled faintly, and the next morning, a new text buzzed. "You kept me waiting." V. Alexa's heart sank. She'd burned the boots, but the other clothes, the panties, the girdle, the dress still held Vivienne's essence. She wore them daily now, each piece a step deeper into this new self, but the line between exploration and surrender blurred. One afternoon, she joined a painting class, drawn by Vivienne's memories. Her brush danced across the canvas, a stormy seascape taking shape, and the instructor praised her talent. A woman in the class, Mia, struck up a conversation, and soon they were friends' coffee dates, laughter, a connection Alex never had. Mia invited her shopping, and Alexa bought her first outfit, not from the trunk a sleek blazer and skirt, her own choice. She wore it proudly, feeling less like Vivienne's puppet, more like Alexa. Yet the unease grew. At night, she'd catch her reflection, shifting eyes too green, a smirk not her own. The trunk's pull strengthened, and one evening, she found herself slipping on the leather jacket again, the whisper returning, "Finish it." She tore it off, locking it away, but the text came again, "I'm closer now." V! The charity bin stood outside, gleaming under the streetlight, and Alexa knew her exploration had a cost. Vivienne wasn't gone, and her femininity was a battlefield. Epilogue, a fragile victory days later. Alexa sat on her couch, the blazer and skirt a testament to her own agency, but the trunk loomed in the corner, unburned clothes whispering faintly. Her hands traced Mia's phone number on a sketch pad, a new life budding, yet her green eyes and painting talent tied her to Vivienne. The phone buzzed. "You didn't finish it." V. Outside, the charity bin waited, empty but watchful. Alexa glanced at the trunk, torn between the femininity she'd embraced and the threat it hid, knowing Vivienne's echo was biding its time.